The stars were not supposed to scream. Yet here they were, shattering like broken glass over the edges of the warship. Lieutenant Kale Draven clutched the console, knuckles white. Alien fire licked the hull. Red and green flashes cut across the black. The UNS Valerian trembled under the assault. And then he saw her. A small figure drifting in a debris field. Fragile, human-shaped but not entirely human. Her skin shimmered faintly like moonlight on water. Her eyes glowed blue deep as glaciers. She was alive, somehow alive. Alone. Kale's instinct screamed, "Rescue her." "Lieutenant," his commander shouted over the comm, "this isn't a rescue mission." "I don't care," Kale said. He launched the shuttle without permission. Every second was a gamble. Every second the alien fleet closed in. The shuttle plummeted into the chaos, weaving through burning wrecks. She floated, unmoving among shards of twisted metal. Kale's heart thumped so loud he thought she might hear it. He grabbed her. Her weight was light, too light, but her pulse, weak but steady, told him she lived. Then came the whisper, a voice in his mind. Not sound but thought. "Kale, help me." He froze. Humans didn't speak like that. And aliens, he had never encountered anything like this. A beam of alien plasma tore through the shuttle's side. Alarms screamed. The shuttle twisted, spinning. Kale pressed her close. Her glow brightened, almost as if she knew she was safe in his arms. But safety was an illusion. Plot twist, she wasn't just a child. She was the spark of something much bigger, something every alien in the quadrant would kill to possess. And Kale Draven had just become her only hope. The shuttle's engines screamed as it tore through the debris field. Kale's eyes never left the girl. Her faint glow pulsed with every heartbeat. He didn't know what she was, but he knew one thing: no one, human or alien, would survive without her. Kale glanced at the dashboard, hull integrity dropping, shields flickering. Just a few more minutes. Minutes could mean death or salvation. The war had started 10 years ago. Humanity reached for the stars, not knowing they would awaken enemies older than any human story. The Zathrians came from beyond the spiral arm, sleek and merciless. Their weapons could strip cities in seconds. Entire fleets vanished in minutes. Humanity learned fear the hard way. Kale had been at the front since the first contact. He had lost brothers, sisters, friends, more than he cared to count. He knew the rules of survival: kill or die, protect or perish, honor above all. And yet this child, whoever, or whatever she was, had shattered all his rules. The shuttle groaned. A small fragment slammed against the hull. Kale cursed, twisting the controls. He needed a safe place, somewhere the Zathrians couldn't follow. "Hang on," he whispered. "I've got you." The girl stirred, her eyes opened. Blue fire against the darkness of the cockpit. She didn't speak, not aloud, but the thought came again. Danger, danger. Kale's chest tightened. She was alive and conscious. Somehow she was communicating without words. He had seen advanced telepathy in alien species before, but nothing like this. "Where did you come from?" he asked. Her gaze shifted toward the stars. A flicker of memory or warning passed across her face. Then she pressed her small hand against the console. Sparks flared, systems hiccuped. "Okay," Kale muttered, stepping back. The child could manipulate technology, not fully but enough to make his shuttle respond. She wasn't just vulnerable, she was dangerous. Dangerous and priceless. Kale had grown up on Earth's colonies. He had trained for war, not miracles. But he understood one thing: if the Zathrians discovered her, every human stronghold in the sector would fall. He adjusted the shuttle's course. The nearest station, a forgotten outpost called Haven 9, lay at the edge of the sector. It wasn't much, but it was off most Zathrian patrols. Maybe she could survive there, maybe. But Kale's comm crackled. "Lieutenant Draven, status?" Commander Rin's voice sounded distant, strained. Kale hesitated. "I found someone alive, human kind of. I'm bringing her to Haven 9. Draven, unauthorized mission. Return now." "I can't, not this time." Silence. The shuttle entered faster than light travel. Stars blurred into streaks of white and blue. Kale held the girl's hand. Her glow steadied his nerves like a heartbeat guiding him through chaos. He tried to read her thoughts again. Safe stay. Safe stay. She wanted to survive. She trusted him, and that meant everything. As the light of the faster-than-light drive enveloped them, Kale remembered a promise he had made long ago: to protect humanity at all costs, to fight even when hope seemed gone, to honor life, even fragile, impossible life like hers. Plot twist, Kale didn't yet know that she was not just a child. She carried knowledge older than the first human colony, secrets that could turn the war against the Zathrians or destroy humanity itself. Haven 9 appeared like a ghost in the void, abandoned, silent, its hull scarred from battles long past, but it was safe, for now. Kale landed the shuttle with a shudder. Every instinct screamed caution. He lifted the girl out. She didn't speak. She only looked at him. "You're safe," he said softly, "for now." Her eyes flickered, blue fire, and then a whisper, "Kale, we are not alone." Kale froze. Not alone. Haven 9 was quiet, too quiet. The corridors smelled of rust and ozone. Broken lights flickered above Kale as he carried the girl through the abandoned station. Every step echoed like a warning. She didn't speak, she didn't cry. Only her eyes glowed brighter in the dim light. Kale set her down in the central chamber. She looked around, scanning, calculating. Then she touched the wall. A panel hissed open. Inside, ancient alien scripts glowed faintly. Her fingers traced the symbols. "What are you doing?" Kale asked. She didn't answer, not with words. Instead, a vision flashed in his mind. Worlds burning, stars collapsing, ships tearing through hyperspace, firing without mercy. And at the center of it all, a throne of metal, a crown of light, and a being not quite alien, not quite human, a king of death. Kale staggered back. "Who, what is that?" She blinked. "Zathrians, the war, my people and your people." Her voice inside his mind was calm yet terrifying. "I am not just a child. I am the last of the Selari." Kale froze. The Selari? Legends spoke of them. Ancient beings older than the first human colonies, capable of bending matter, energy, even minds, destroyed, or so everyone thought. "You survived," he whispered. Her glow dimmed. "Yes, but barely. They hunted me. They want what I carry." "What do you carry?" Kale demanded, heart pounding. A pulse of energy radiated from her chest. The station hummed. Lights flickered. Monitors flared to life. Star maps, alien texts, coordinates, all impossible to read fully, but enough to make Kale's stomach twist. She carried the knowledge of the Selari, the blueprints of ancient weapons, faster-than-light pathways, secrets of life and death. Anything could be built or destroyed if someone wielded it. Plot twist, the Zathrians weren't attacking randomly. They were hunting her for centuries, not for land, not for resources, but for her mind, her legacy, her power. Kale's grip tightened. Humanity's war suddenly seemed small, insignificant compared to this. "You can't tell anyone," she warned. "If they know I live," her mind shivered, "all will burn." Kale nodded. "I won't, I swear it." But even as he promised, a tremor ran through Haven 9. The station shivered. Something outside, massive, movement in the void. The sensors were dead, but instinct told him Zathrians were near. Kale and the girl reached the control hub. She pressed her hand against the ancient console. Images projected in the air, star systems, alien fleets, and one path highlighted, a hidden corridor through hyperspace. "They can't find me if we go there," she said in his mind. Kale frowned. "Hidden where?" She focused. A point in deep space flickered, a dead system forgotten by human charts. "There," she said, "safe for now." Kale studied her. "You've survived alone all this time." Her glow pulsed, almost sad. "I had no choice. They hunted me. I learned or I died." Kale clenched his jaw. Humanity had endured centuries of struggle, but he realized they had never faced anything like this. Not weapons, not aliens, not war. This child was a living weapon, and their hope. Another flicker of vision hit him. Zathrian dreadnoughts tearing through systems, entire fleets annihilated before they even knew what hit them. And then, a revelation. The girl's presence could change the course of the war. She could turn the tide. Kale whispered almost to himself, "So we're not just surviving, we're fighting for the future." She looked at him, eyes blazing. "No, not just the future, all life." Suddenly, alarms blared, sensors came alive. Shadows moved along the edge of the station. Too fast, too precise, Zathrians had tracked them. Kale grabbed a weapon from the armory. The girl stayed close, glowing brighter with every heartbeat. The corridor shook as the station rocked under impact. "Kale, we must leave," she said. "They will not stop." He nodded. Her hand brushed his shoulder. Energy flared, and the shuttle bay opened automatically. She guided him, almost intuitively. Kale realized something terrifying and awe-inspiring. She could sense danger before it happened. As they ran to the shuttle, Kale understood the truth. Humanity's survival didn't depend on fleets, weapons, or strategy. It depended on her. And that knowledge made him both proud and terrified. The shuttle tore through space, engines screaming. Kale gripped the controls, eyes darting over the flashing warnings. Her hand hovered over the navigation console, glowing softly, guiding him through the chaos of the void. Where are we going?" Kale asked, voice tight. "The void between stars, the old paths," she replied in his mind. Kale frowned. She spoke in thought, but every word carried weight, urgency. He had learned to trust her instincts, even when he didn't understand them. The shuttle passed through a nebula that glittered like crushed diamonds. Sensors were useless. Stars blurred, space itself seemed to bend. Kale thought he heard a whisper in the comms. Not human, not Zathrian, something older. "They are coming," the girl warned. Kale's stomach tightened. "Who's coming?" "The Watchers." He blinked. Watchers. Ancient guardians. Solari created them long ago to protect knowledge, to punish misuse. Kale's heart thudded. This child, she isn't just a weapon, she's a key, a beacon. Plot twist, the Zathrians weren't just hunting her for her knowledge. They were hunting her because her power could awaken the Watchers, beings capable of annihilating entire star systems if provoked. Suddenly, the shuttle shuddered violently. Kale fought the controls. Red warnings blared. On the view screen, a massive shape emerged from the nebula, a Zathrian dreadnought, bigger than any ship he had ever seen. Its hull shimmered with alien runes, energy pulsing along its sides. "They know where we are," Kale muttered. "Yes, they always know." The girl's glow flared. She touched the console. The shuttle jolted, veering sharply. Kale barely regained control. She was guiding him not just with intuition, but with raw power. He looked at her. "You can do this." For now, her voice trembled with something Kale had never heard before, fear, but also determination. The dreadnought fired. Plasma beams lanced through the nebula, illuminating the shuttle. Kale dodged, the hull scraping against debris. Sparks flew. Systems failed. Kale's training kicked in. He knew human tactics, knew how to fight Zathrians, but this was no ordinary battle. Her power was their only edge. "Kale, you must understand." She pressed her hand against the console. "I carry memories of the Solari, all of them, every battle, every choice. I am the sum of a species." Her words, her thoughts hit Kale like a wave. She carries the consciousness of an entire civilization, all their wisdom, all their mistakes. Plot twist, the war humanity thought they were fighting was only the beginning. The real war had started long before humans reached the stars, a war the Solari had fought and lost. And now, the remnants of that war were using her as the final prize. Kale gritted his teeth. "Then we fight smarter, faster, together." The shuttle banked sharply. The dreadnought sensors tried to lock on, but she raised her hand, energy rippling through the void. The dreadnought's weapons faltered, sparks flying along its hull. Kale realized she wasn't just guiding the shuttle. She was fighting the enemy with him. "Kale, listen," she said. "If we survive, we must reach the core system. The place where the Solari began. Only there can I unlock what they left behind. Only there can the war end." "Core system?" Kale echoed. He had heard legends. A mythical place, lost in time, said to contain unimaginable knowledge and power. If it existed, humanity could use it to finally tip the scales against the Zathrians. Suddenly, alarms blared. The shuttle shook violently. Kale looked up. A fleet of Zathrian cruisers emerged from the nebula, blocking their path. "They won't let us go," he muttered. "Then we fight," she said. Her glow intensified, lighting the cockpit like a small sun. "But Kale, be careful. My power, it is not stable if I lose control." Her voice trailed off. Kale understood. If her power spiraled out of control, it could destroy not just the Zathrians, but them, and perhaps the entire system. Kale steadied himself. "Then I'll protect you, whatever it takes." She nodded, her glow softening for a moment. Then the first cruisers fired. Plasma tore through the nebula, explosions blossoming like deadly flowers. Kale weaved the shuttle, dodging, firing. The girl's power surged, pushing the attacks away, shielding them. Plot twist, she could not only manipulate energy, but read the battlefield before events happened. Every Zathrian move, every attack, she anticipated. Yet even with her, Kale knew survival was a gamble. The enemy fleet was massive, organized, relentless. They had decades of war experience, and she, no matter how powerful, was still learning. Suddenly, one of the cruisers launched a boarding pod. Kale's stomach sank. They want us alive, they want her alive. Yes, she confirmed, they cannot risk destroying me. That is why they pursue. That is why all this, her glow flickered, almost humanly frightened, is happening. Kale tightened his grip. The shuttle weaved through laser fire, dodging debris. The boarding pod struck the hull. Alarms screamed. Kale fired thrusters, ejecting the pod into the void. She pressed her hand against the console again. The shuttle jolted. The cruisers slowed, their sensors scrambled. Kale realized she wasn't just defending. She was turning the battlefield into a weapon. Kale, one more jump, core system. He nodded, hold on. Plot twist, as they prepared to jump, Kale finally understood the truth. The girl's power was not just Solari heritage. It was the future of humanity itself. Every hope, every survival chance now rested on a fragile, glowing child and him, the human soldier who had sworn to protect her. As stars stretched into hyperspace, Kale whispered to himself, "We survive, we win, no matter what." And somewhere in the void, the Zathrians watched, their fury burning, their obsession complete, and the real war had only just begun. The shuttle trembled as it exited hyperspace. Stars twisted, distant nebulae stretched across the void like frozen fire. The core system lay ahead, a place of myth, whispered among Solari survivors and human historians alike. Kale stared at it. A collection of planets circling a black star, each planet scarred, shattered, yet glowing faintly with life. Something ancient hummed through the void, a vibration in his bones he had never felt before. "We're here," she said, her voice trembling in his mind. The heart of the Solari, the beginning and the end. Kale swallowed hard. He knew the legends. The core system was more than a place. It was a machine, a weapon, a library of knowledge and power built to shape galaxies, and she was the key. "Kale, I must connect to it. I must unlock what was left for me." He glanced at her. She was glowing brighter than ever, blue fire radiating from her small body, illuminating the cockpit. Every instinct screamed caution. One wrong move and the core system could annihilate them, or worse, the Zathrians could seize it. "Kale, you have to trust me." He nodded. "I trust you, always." The shuttle descended toward the largest planet in the system. The surface was a ruin of spires, towers, and monoliths, all etched with Solari runes. As they landed, the girl's glow pulsed, resonating with the structures. The core system recognized her. Kale stepped out, weapon raised. She walked ahead, tiny but unafraid, hand extended to the monolithic gateway. Symbols flared across the surface, and a portal of swirling light opened. "This is it," she said. "Everything we fought for, everything we lost, rests on this moment." Kale followed. They entered, the air crackling with energy. Memories flooded Kale's mind, not his own, but hers. Centuries of Solari history, battles lost, victories won, civilizations rising and falling. And at the center, the ultimate revelation. Plot twist, the girl was not just the last Solari. She was the core itself, encoded with the consciousness of her entire species. The core system was not separate. She was a living heart. Humanity's survival, the Zathrians' conquest, the fate of every star system, it all depended on her. Kale staggered back. You are the core." "Yes," she said softly, yet the weight of millennia echoed in her voice. "I was born for this. I was left to carry it, to endure, to decide. And now, the choice is mine." A tremor shook the chamber. Lights flickered. The hybrid commander, recovered, repaired, and more terrifying than ever, entered. "You cannot control it, little girl. The Zathrians will claim it. They will claim you. And then all life will bend to us." Kale stepped in front of her. "Not while I'm here." "Kale, do," she warned. "If I fight, the energy could destroy this world." He clenched his teeth. "I'll protect you, whatever it takes." The hybrid commander lunged. Kale fired, dodged, and used every tactic, but the hybrid's strength was unnatural, precise, inhuman. Every strike was a threat to the core, her. The girl's glow erupted, a tidal wave of blue fire. Energy flowed through the core system, lighting every ruin, awakening dormant defenses, and striking the hybrid with pure force. Kale felt the ground shake under his feet. "Kale, I cannot hold it much longer." "Then we finish this together," Kale yelled. She focused, connecting fully to the core system. The planet itself seemed to breathe with her power. Energy cascaded through the ruins, forming shields, firing beams, neutralizing the hybrid without killing her. Kale had learned the importance of honor, even in war. Plot twist, the hybrid was not fully Zathrian. Somewhere deep inside, remnants of humanity lingered, and the girl sensed it. She hesitated just for a moment, enough for Kale to strike a critical blow that shattered her weapon, leaving her alive but broken. The room went silent. Sparks fell, the hybrid collapsed, and the girl's glow dimmed, exhausted. Kale caught her before she fell. "You saved me again," she whispered, weak but alive. Kale shook his head. "No, we saved each other." The weight of the revelation pressed on him. Humanity had survived countless wars, but now, with the girl, the last Selari, they held something far greater than ships or weapons. They held hope, and that hope was fragile. The shuttle emerged from the last stretch of hyperspace. Stars twisted, distant nebulae stretched across the void like frozen fire. The core system lay ahead, a place of myth, whispered among Selari survivors and human historians alike. Kale stared at it. A collection of planets circling a black star, each planet scarred, shattered, yet glowing faintly with life. Something ancient hummed through the void, a vibration in his bones he had never felt before. "We're here," she said, her voice trembling in his mind. "The heart of the Selari, the beginning and the end." Kale swallowed hard. He knew the legends. The core system was more than a place. It was a machine, a weapon, a library of knowledge and power built to shape galaxies, and she was the key. "Kale, I must connect to it. I must unlock what was left for me." He glanced at her. She was glowing brighter than ever, blue fire radiating from her small body, illuminating the cockpit. Every instinct screamed caution. One wrong move and the core system could annihilate them, or worse, the Zathrians could seize it. "Kale, you have to trust me." He nodded. "I trust you, always." The shuttle descended toward the largest planet in the system. The surface was a ruin of spires, towers, and monoliths, all etched with Selari runes. As they landed, the girl's glow pulsed, resonating with the structures. The core system recognized her. Kale stepped out, weapon raised. She walked ahead, tiny but unafraid, hand extended to the monolithic gateway. Symbols flared across the surface, and a portal of swirling light opened. "This is it," she said. "Everything we fought for, everything we lost, rests on this moment." Kale followed. They entered, the air crackling with energy. Memories flooded Kale's mind, not his own, but hers. Centuries of Selari history, battles lost, victories won, civilizations rising and falling. And at the center, the ultimate revelation. Plot twist, the girl was not just the last Selari. She was the core itself, encoded with the consciousness of her entire species. The core system was not separate. She was the living heart. Humanity's survival, the Zathrians' conquest, the fate of every star system, it all depended on her. Kale staggered back. You are the core." "Yes," she said softly, yet the weight of millennia echoed in her voice. "I was born for this. I was left to carry it, to endure, to decide. And now, the choice is mine." A tremor shook the chamber. Lights flickered. The hybrid commander, recovered, repaired, and more terrifying than ever, entered. "You cannot control it, little girl. The Zathrians will claim it. They will claim you. And then all life will bend to us." Kale stepped in front of her. "Not while I'm here." "Kale, do," she warned. "If I fight, the energy could destroy this world." He clenched his teeth. "I'll protect you, whatever it takes." The hybrid commander lunged. Kale fired, dodged, and used every tactic, but the hybrid's strength was unnatural, precise, inhuman. Every strike was a threat to the core, her. The girl's glow erupted, a tidal wave of blue fire. Energy flowed through the core system, lighting every ruin, awakening dormant defenses, and striking the hybrid with pure force. Kale felt the ground shake under his feet. "Kale, I cannot hold it much longer." "Then we finish this together," Kale yelled. She focused, connecting fully to the core system. The planet itself seemed to breathe with her power. Energy cascaded through the ruins, forming shields, firing beams, neutralizing the hybrid without killing her. Kale had learned the importance of honor, even in war. Plot twist, the hybrid commander was spared not by Kale's mercy, but by the girl's conscious choice. Her power was limitless, but her judgment was human, compassion fused with divine capability. Kale watched in awe as she extended her consciousness into the core system. The hybrid commander was forced to retreat, screaming in rage while the core stabilized. The Zathrians, sensing the loss of their target, faltered, Entire fleets paused. Kale, it is done, she whispered, exhaustion lacing her thoughts. The core is safe. The knowledge, the power, it is mine to guide. And humanity, her glow softened, radiating warmth. You will help me protect it. Kale approached, holding her hand. We'll face it together, always. The core system pulsed, resonating across light years, sending waves of hope to every human colony. Humanity had survived the impossible, not through sheer numbers, not through weapons, but through courage, trust, and honor. Plot twist, she didn't just unlock the core, she transformed it. The core system now resonated with both Cellari knowledge and human spirit. Humanity and the last of the Cellari, together, could face the galaxy's darkest threats. Kale looked at her. So, this is the beginning, not the end. She nodded. Yes, the war is not over, but now we have a chance. And we will fight not as slaves to fear, but as champions of life. The stars beyond the core system blazed with new light. A universe that had seemed dark and endless now held hope. And at the center, a small girl, last of the Cellari, human in courage, divine in power, stood with her protector, ready to guide the galaxy into a new era. The core system pulsed with quiet power, its blue light bathing Kale and the girl in a gentle, almost healing glow. Outside, the shattered remnants of the hybrid commander and her fleeing Zathrian fleet were visible, retreating into the darkness of space. Kale exhaled. The adrenaline faded, leaving exhaustion and disbelief. He glanced at her. Her glow, though dimmer, still shimmered like starlight. You did it, he whispered. No, Kale, we did it, she corrected, together. Kale nodded. Humanity had survived, but the war was far from over. Zathrians still lurked, still plotted, but the core system had shifted the balance. Knowledge of Cellari technology now flowed not only to her, but indirectly to humanity. Their fleets, their colonies, their scientists, everything now had a beacon of hope guiding them. Plot twist, the Zathrians didn't retreat merely out of fear. They had realized something far more dangerous. The girl, fully awakened to the core system, could outthink, outmaneuver, and overpower entire fleets before they could strike. They had lost the advantage. Kale surveyed the ruined planet. Broken towers and monoliths hummed with latent energy. Every corner of the core system was now a repository of Cellari wisdom, and humanity could access it. The possibilities were staggering. New technology, defensive strategies, faster-than-light navigation, even insights into energy manipulation. Kale, humanity must learn slowly, she said. Knowledge without guidance is dangerous. They will need mentors, custodians, and you. Kale blinked. Me. Yes, she said, you fought with courage, honor, and heart. You understand sacrifice. You understand life. You will help guide them. He felt the weight of her words. He had survived wars, lost friends, endured betrayal, but this was more than survival. This was stewardship, a responsibility that could shape the future of the galaxy. The shuttle engines hummed. Kale and the girl boarded it, preparing to return to human space. On the view screen, colonies that had once been lost or isolated now awaited guidance. Humanity's fleets were regrouping, their spirits renewed by the legend of the Cellari core. Plot twist, even as they prepared to leave, a small signal blinked on the shuttle's console, a distress call from a human colony under attack. Zathrians were testing the limits, probing weaknesses, ensuring their fearsome reputation remained. Kale gritted his teeth. Then we fight again, but this time with knowledge on our side. Yes, the girl agreed. Her glow pulsed brighter. But now we can fight smarter, not blindly, not with desperation, but with purpose. They entered hyperspace, the stars stretching into ribbons of light. Kale allowed himself a moment of hope. Humanity had survived impossible odds before, and now, guided by the last of the Cellari, they could do it again. As the shuttle approached the nearest human stronghold, Kale reflected on the journey. The boy who had joined Fleets for Glory had become a man who shouldered the future. The girl, abandoned by her people, had become the galaxy's linchpin. Together, they had turned despair into possibility. Plot twist, the galaxy was no longer silent. Across light years, systems whispered of a new dawn. Humans and Cellari, their fates intertwined, would rise together. But there would be more battles, more losses, and more choices that tested courage, honor, and sacrifice. The girl's voice pierced his thoughts, gentle yet resolute. Kale, the first step is complete. The rest is what we make it. Kale nodded, gripping her hand. Then let's make it right. The stars outside shimmered. not with the cold void of war, but with the warm light of a future being written by humanity, guided by hope and protected by honor. The shuttle drifted into orbit around the human stronghold. Below, cities shimmered with lights, alive with people who had not seen hope in years. Kale looked down, the weight of the galaxy pressing on his shoulders. Kale, it's time. The girl's voice resonated in his mind, steady and calm. Her glow had softened, warm as the sunrise, no longer a weapon but a guiding light. He nodded, then we show them. When the shuttle landed, Kale and the girl stepped out into the plaza. Thousands of humans had gathered, soldiers, scientists, civilians, eyes wide at the sight of her. She glowed faintly, not threatening but radiant. She was small, but everyone could feel her power, her history, and her importance. Plot twist, this was not just a demonstration of strength. It was a message. Humanity was no longer alone, and the galaxy had shifted forever. Kale stepped forward. This is the last of the Cellari. She carries the knowledge of an entire civilization. With her guidance, humanity can survive, rebuild, and rise. The crowd murmured, awe and disbelief mixing with hope. Scientists whispered of the core system, historians spoke of legends, and soldiers felt courage returning to their bones. We must act with wisdom, the girl said in his mind. The Zathrians will strike again. The galaxy is not safe. But together, humans and Cellari, we can change the course of history. Kale looked at her. We've survived battles before, we've faced the impossible, but this is bigger than any one of us, bigger than any fleet, any weapon. It's a chance to truly honor life. The girl smiled faintly. I am ready, Kale. With you, I am never alone. And then the final reveal came, not through words, but through action. The core system, now fully awakened, sent a pulse of energy across the sector. Communication channels across human colonies flickered to life, showing encrypted knowledge, star maps, and defensive strategies. Humanity had the tools to defend itself, to grow, and to face the Zathrians, not blindly, but with wisdom and power. Plot twist, the girl's power did not replace humanity. It enhanced it. She was not a savior waiting to fight their battles. She was a guide, a teacher, a bridge between two civilizations, and humanity's courage, honor, and ingenuity were still the core of their survival. Kale stepped back, watching her glow fade slightly as the people approached, cautious but drawn to her light. He realized something profound. Heroism wasn't just about fighting. It was about trust, honor, and sacrifice. Every life lost, every battle won, every choice made had led them to this moment. Humanity had earned the right to hope, and they would honor it. Kale, you will help lead them, won't you? She asked. He smiled, eyes soft but determined. I will, because you've taught me that survival isn't enough. We must protect, guide, and inspire. That's what humanity does best. The girl nodded. Her glow stabilized, gentle, and comforting. Together they looked up at the stars, no longer distant or hostile but full of possibility. Plot twist, the war was far from over. The Zathrians still existed, hybrids still schemed, and the core system would always draw attention. But humanity had something no other species could replicate: courage, resilience, and honor. With her guidance, they could face any threat. Kale took her hand. Then we keep moving forward together. She squeezed it, faint warmth radiating through the touch. Together. Above them, the stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to the rise of a new age. Humanity had survived, and this time they would not merely survive, they would thrive. Guided by courage, tempered by honor, and inspired by the last Cellari, they would shape their destiny. The shuttle ascended, leaving the core system behind. Stars streaked past like silver rivers, the void alive with possibility. Kale sat beside her, hand in hers, watching the galaxy shift beneath their glow. Kale, do you ever wonder what's next? She asked, quiet but curious. Kale smiled faintly. Every day. But now, I know it's not just about surviving, it's about rising. About guiding humanity to be more than soldiers, more than survivors, about showing courage, honor, and hope in every choice we make. She looked at him, blue light flickering softly. And you'll walk that path with me. Always, Kale said. Across the stars, distant fleets moved with renewed purpose. Colonies once thought lost now received guidance, weapons upgraded, defenses strengthened. Humanity's story was no longer one of desperation. It was one of resilience, ingenuity, and honor. Plot twist, even in the darkness of space where Zathrian shadows lurked, humans were no longer prey. They had allies, knowledge, and courage to face the impossible. And with her, the last Cellari, they held a power few could imagine, tempered by wisdom and compassion. Kale remembered the battles, the sacrifices, the betrayals. Every life lost, every fight survived had led to this moment. Humanity had earned the right to hope, and they would honor it. Kale, we can't stop here, she said, her voice tinged with both excitement and caution. The galaxy is vast. There will be more threats, more challenges, but together we can shape what comes next. Kale nodded. Then we'll face it together. We'll protect those who cannot protect themselves. We'll fight when we must, guide when we can, and always honor life. That's who we are. A distant pulse flashed across the shuttle's sensors. A faint distress signal, human colonies under attack, but Kale didn't flinch. He knew the core system had tipped the balance. Humanity had power now, guidance now, and hope now. They were no longer alone. The girl squeezed his hand. Kale, I've learned something. Power without guidance is dangerous. But humanity, you have courage, honor, and heart. That's why we survived. That's why we rise. Kale looked at her, awe and pride mingling. Then let's keep moving. Every system, every star, every life will protect it. Together. The stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to their journey. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and unpredictable. But it was also alive with wonder, and humanity, guided by courage and honor, was ready to explore it. Plot twist, this was not the end of the story. It was the beginning. Every choice, every battle, every act of courage would ripple through the galaxy, shaping its future. And for humans, for Kale, and for the last Solari, that future was theirs to claim. As the shuttle vanished into hyperspace, the voice of the narrator, or the story itself, echoed in the minds of the audience. In the darkest corners of the universe, humanity discovered something they had always possessed: courage, honor, hope. And when the stars seemed impossible to reach, they reached them anyway. Guided by the last of an ancient race, they would rise, not as pawns, not as victims, but as champions of life. The screen fades to black. Text on screen. The universe is vast. Courage defines who survives, honor defines who thrives, and hope defines who rises. A faint glow pulses once more, a reminder that their journey continues, that the core system waits, and that the galaxy is full of stories yet untold. Subscribe, follow, and join the next chapter of humanity's rise.